Hey guys, QuickyBaby here, bringing you another 7.4 Test Realm preview. This time I'm looking at the new Tier 8 premium tank, the IS-6. And here we can see it in all its angled glory and its armament, the 122, which is quite low penetrating for a Tier 8 tank. However, the rate of fire is excellent and it provides great DPM. However, it's got poor aim time and pretty poor accuracy, so over and all, you want to play this tank up close and personal and using its lovely angled plate armor to bounce on your approach. So let's compare the gun, which I'm highlighting here, to the gun on, well, firstly against the KV3 gun, so we get an idea. It's basically a copy of the gun you get on the IS/KV3, however it's got slightly better rate of fire. When we compare it, however, to the gun that the IS-3 can get, the BL9, we can see that it's got much better rate of fire, so it's got better DPM, however it's got worse accuracy and much worse penetration. So if you're looking for a tank that you will use to take out weak points and do high DPM and use the premium nature to get a high credit farm going, then this is the tank for you. So let's take a better look at comparing its modules against tanks of a similar tier. Let's take a look at comparing it against the IS-3. So here we go. It's got the same hit points. It's slightly heavier, but it has the same engine power, which means that its acceleration will be slower. It's got a slightly lower top speed. Its traverse is quite a bit worse. Its turret traverse is worse. It's got a very short range radio, but with the higher rate of fire that it has, it'll be able to put out some serious damage per minute. Now looking at its armor, we can see that it's got 100 at the front, 100 at the sides, and 60 at the rear. Well, its rear armor is not brilliant, but when we look at the sheer angles that we're getting on the front and the side armor, you really want to put this tank at 45 degrees when you're tanking a target. So that's enough of the garage review. Let's take a look at how the magic tracks work in action versus higher tiered tanks. So here we are on mines on the test server in our IS-6. I'm not firing any gold ammo because I want to see how this 175mm penetration gun can handle itself at tier 8. Because in theory that's the weakest part of this tank. It's not the fastest tank in the game. It's not the most maneuverable tank in the game. However, the sloped armor, along with the high rate of fire, gives great damage per minute. So it should be a very powerful credit earner for the player who's looking for the all-round tank with high damage per minute. So here we can see there's the standard fight on mines. We're going to start to take some shots at this AMX-5120. So yeah, just standard play really, taking shots when we can. We saw a nice bounce there from the 5100, however I was very flat on the second shot and so it went through. So I got hit by artillery there and bounced the VK shell with my tracks. I need to change the angle of my approach a bit so it's more 45 degrees, so there's more chance of absorbing damage. There we can see taking another hit in the tracks, and the slight, it could be spaced armor, it might just be that my tracks are absorbing a lot of damage. Taking chunks out of our opposite number in the premium tank, the KV5, by taking advantage of its droid. So we've got to keep the pressure up. What you're seeing here is horrible gun depression. meaning that we have to come vastly further around the corner than I wanted to get that shot off. However, again, 45 degrees, these magic tracks seem to take another shell from the M103, but no damage. So here we're shooting a Tier 7 French tank destroyer. After playing through the French tank destroyer tree, I know that the view hatch on the, well, not the hatch, but the viewing device on the top of the tank is a great weak point, so I'm trying to take advantage of that. However, as we're about to see, none of my shells want to go in. Could this be down to the 175 pen? I'm pretty sure if I was shooting this with an IS-3 that it would be going in. However, I wouldn't be firing so quickly in an IS-3. So here we go again. I'm going to try and approach. I turn my tank to try and absorb, and as we can see, we bounce the 103 again. So unless he's using a poor gun, we're really taking chunks out of this guy and not taking much damage for it using our tracks. Taking advantage of his really poor side armor, we can still penetrate him. Didn't quite get the angle there. I noticed that the track traverse is really not brilliant. It's fairly immobile, this tank, so it's quite hard to keep the 45 degrees against smaller targets. So you might find that mediums are easily able to get around you and punish your weak armor at the back. So what do I think of the IS-6 then? I think compare it to the KV-5 and it's a real Russian Tier 8 heavy. The KV-5, it would be fixed if they removed the droid. However, the removal of the droid would maybe make it overpowered, considering the matchups that the KV-5 get. I guess it's about balanced. However, this is the real Russian Tier 8 heavy tank, with its low penetrating gun, so it's not an IS-3 clone. However, higher DPS to enable it maybe to earn credits better against lightly armoured targets. I haven't quite seen what the theorized matchmaker is for this, but if it's the same as the KV-5, this tank will be a very, very, very good tank. If it's the same, however, as other Tier 8 premiums, such as the low, it'll be a fairly good tank, but it will not be my cup of tea, as I like very powerful guns and less powerful armor. So we can see that we earned 100,000 credits, which is times 10 on the public test server. So this has got a real good credit potential. And we got fairly good experience, getting 1.9k. So overall, I think this is a good buy for anyone who wants to play Russian heavy and isn't happy with the purchase of a KV-5. However, with its low penetrating gun, but still good armor, I think that it's not my cup of tea. So thanks a lot for watching my video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this preview of this new premium tank, and let's see if they make any changes to it between now and release. So if you enjoyed the video, please show it by giving it a like, and if you feel so inclined, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want updates first. Thanks a lot again, guys, and good luck on the battlefield.